brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking hosts, the good old boys. Suds. It's time for more Suds.
Welcome, everyone, to this Suds segment where good beer meets bad radio. I am your host today, good old boy Mike, and joining me at the table are a set of very questionable casting decisions. You like that intro? I love that. It wasn't even a slow clap. I have to say, I wondered how that would start.
It was very animated.
Yeah. So well, sitting to me at radio left is good old boy Tim.
Timmy, did you not do your homework?
That's a new one. It's my pleasure to be here.
Brought back some
Do we have to
memories.
speak in?
Yeah.
Do we have to speak in French so you'll understand us?
That would be one way I would
You
not
Swanee
understand
Americans. Yeah, you sweat, you suck, you smell.
Tim
you
is-
cannot even order French food, but the crap.
Wow.
Those are all true things.
Yes.
It's like he's back in
He
France.
was he's just returned from Provence. So
Oh.
yes.
Yeah, I went to France.
freshly
and
married.
He's fresh off the boat and
That's
came
true.
to have beer that we bought in Alabama.
So that
Wow, we're talking
probably-
about cultural shock.
The trip to Provence probably got him prepared for marriage. You can't order food. You're stupid.
You do what I say.
Also joining us today is good old boy Caperton.
A sexually depraved miscreant who is seeking only to gratify his basest and most immediate urges.
Finally, I've gotten my own soundbite, guys.
Wow. Now you know.
I heard we
it's
use
so
that
me.
with Reverend Mark as well. So you know,
So me.
yeah.
Don't ruin it for
Hi,
Mike.
everyone. Hello, everyone.
Also is good old gal Julieanna.
I'm the boss.
Yes, that's for
I am the boss.
Boss lady.
I think that is a perpetual sound for you.
That is a perpetual sound.
Yep.
Yes.
And running the soundboard as well as the king of all questionable decisions is good old boy Dave.
Who told you I like it in the can?
Well, that is what this is about.
Wow.
As part of our summer of questionable decisions, we're going to conduct a little experiment. That is an understatement. There's no size characteristic around this. How many of you have gone to the beer store and bought something just because it had a funny name or the cool can art?
Oh, me.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Me.
Yep,
Yeah.
I have.
Apparently, one of us bought about a dozen.
Yeah, we were betting that can art has definitely played into your questionable decision-making process. Is this a sound strategy? That is part of our quest for today.
But it's so pretty.
I am saying probably not. But we can.
There we go. There we go.
But we'll
There
do
we
it
go.
anyway. Plus, today we'll actually have a Kudzu report since Caperton's here, so we'll get to attack the vine. Before we go any further, though, this Suds segment is brought to you by
The law offices of Scratchers Day Scratcherton. Are you a kitty or a puppy who defines as kitty? Identifies as kitty? Jesus. Do you need an attorney? Well, come on down to the law offices of Scratchers Day Scratcherton. Scratchers Day Scratcherton, attorney at law. She fights for her clients and gives injustice the claw. Scratchers Day Scratcherton is not licensed to practice law in any of the 50 states.
Meow.
in preparation for this show. Good old boy Dave, the king of questionable decisions,
and questionable commercial spots.
and went down to the horrible state of Alabama.
Boo.
Not true.
And bought
Terrible.
some beers based solely on the name and the design of the can. I'm thinking that there was definitely some recreational drugs involved.
You
in
know
this
what?
decision.
They love you in
Totally.
Alabama, Mike.
I have
They
written my
ask
last
about
check
you.
to the state of Alabama.
They ask about you all the time.
Wait, does that mean that you go
Where's
there
that-
all the time?
Where's that big old ginger at? We love him.
Where's that big red one?
I like that. So
big old
So my
ginger.
daughter's asking me, "What do you want to be called as a grandpa?" And so
Big ginger?
Big Ginger. I'm
Big
thinking
Ginger.
That's made the top 3, Dave. So yeah, there you go. Good old boy Tim, why don't you tell us about the lineup we're going to go through today?
Oh, yeah. We have a long lineup of
That's what she said.
lovely cans. First, we're going to start off with On Fleek Imperial Stout, a 13% stout from Stillwater and Casita, Cerveceria. We have After the Last Death, Sour Ale with Currants and Cherries by Orpheus Brewing out of Atlanta. We have the Foot Clan Mixed Berry Berliner Weisse by Southern Prohibition. The Space Lettuce Double IPA Recreational Drug by Monday Night Brewing.
Much discussion about that one.
White Stouts Can't Jump by Abomination Brewing. That is White Stout. Don't Fear the Blender Tropical Fruit Smoothie IPA. By Clown Shoes Brewing. The Belloc Coffee Vanilla Stout by Hoof Hearted Brewing. Bombshell Blonde Ale by Southern Star Brewing. Stranger Than Fiction Porter by Collective Arts. And the Dr. Chill New England IPA by Moonraker.
Name that after me.
Wow, that is a huge lineup. So
It is.
we're going to get to touch on all these beers briefly today along the way. Most noted is that this is the first time I think Clown Shoes has reappeared since the great ban of 2005.
Oh my God. And we were there for that.
Yes, that's
Do you
right.
remember
It was,
Good Old Boy Dave?
it was
Tangerine
rough.
Dream.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. We could never go back to Ipswich, so maybe we can redeem
It was-
ourselves.
Let's
And
hope for the best.
yep, I know my tasting notes today may not help in that endeavor around that beer. But
You know what? I bet it won't be the worst beer in the flight.
I
It's
don't
not.
think it will. So,
Yeah.
good old gal Julieanna, tell us what we're going to be doing with these beers today.
We're going to be discussing and rating these beers
Is that
Is
your
this
Alabama,
Alabama?
accent?
Is this Alabama?
Definitely
with these Suds ratings.
Wow.
antebellum
Is that like
Alabama.
Is that how Alabama people sounded? People in Pennsylvania?
I should
think
just,
it's-
if you want to do an
Holy
Alabama accent, you just have
cow.
to sound like our
It's like
sister.
epic failure.
Or is that Reese Witherspoon?
I think it's an Alabama robot.
Walk the Line.
I tried.
Keep
I
going.
so
Alabama
tried.
robot.
Now
Okay.
you've committed. Now
only
you
an
got
hour show.
to do
Go
the whole
ahead.
thing.
Thanks.
we'll
thanks,
be
a,
rating
thanks a lot. Okay.
And discussing.
Discussing
Yo.
our ratings for these beers.
Is she from Boston too?
Beer.
I like that.
This beers.
I'm from Boston, Alabama.
You've had to ask for biscuits at the table. All you have to do is just
Biscuits?
handle that moment.
Biscuits.
Biscuits. I like biscuits and jam, and number one is
Put a little biscuit in my beer.
Come on, Biscuit.
Oh
Get
my
through it.
look who you're married to. You should nail this accent like 10 times a day. So
If it's supposed to be
No.
pronounce it I.
our ratings for these beers. Are
Oh
going to
my
be-
God. Okay.
This is why she never does it.
I
by the
know.
way.
That's why I never do this. Okay. Number one. It sucks. Give me anything but a bud. Number two. Was that a belch?
Or a left-hand turn at Talladega.
There you go. That's it.
Oh, I do declare. What a relief.
When you hit the Florida state line.
Dang.
Number four. Oh, the body should not make that sound.
That's the official state sound of Tuscaloosa.
That's it.
I do declare.
When did this become taking a dump on Alabama?
It's just so easy.
Yeah.
Number five. Listen to that hang time. Please give me another.
Wow.
That was very emotional.
That sounded like an Alabama porn film.
I agree. I like that. Alabama to porn film.
Everybody's related.
That's pretty close. Wow. Only great high quality,
High quality.
high quality Southern.
Uncle Daddy.
Oh, God, yes.
Uncle Daddy.
Well,
Can I go out to play?
thank you for that riveting, Southern plantation charm of our Suds ratings. Good old gal or good old boy Caperton. Let's hear the Kudzu report.
Oh, Okay. All right. Hello from the front lines again, folks, where the battle against kudzu and other invasive vines continues. The task is daunting despite the many masters of abatement taking up the fight. But rest assured, we're on the job with the determination to win the fight. Today's kudzu report is a little bit different. While kudzu is indeed a slow-motion green tsunami capable of submerging us all in its leafy doom, it is not the only concern out there. The vine that ate the South has several country cousins, if you will.
Uncle Daddies.
Which plays into the Alabama theme here. More than capable of blanketing us all in a sea of green demise.
It is all over the state of Alabama.
It is. It is. But today, I would like to speak briefly on one of the new species that have popped up that are definitely giving kudzu a run for its money. And that is the Japanese knotweed. That's KNOT weed, not weed.
Definitely not weed.
But
not
weed.
Weed.
It's tricky. This green demon has the ability to nearly nearly any type of soil. It'll grow in nearly any type of soil is what I'm trying to say here, folks, regardless of the pH. And its ability to march across our landscape indeed rivals the evil kudzu. It could be in your yards now, out there tying knots as we speak, but it's not knotting friendship bracelets, folks. No, it's taking a firm hold on your green spaces. So please take the time to familiarize yourself with this terrible weed and
we'll
its
be
bamboo
right back
appearance.
with the rest of the kudzu report in just a second.
Wow.
Hey, welcome back to Sip, Suds, and Smokes. On today's Suds episode, we're talking about canned beers, in particular canned art, and, you know, what we think about the canned art itself, and did it help you actually in the decision-making process for the beer? We were in the middle of the kudzu report for today from good old boy Caperton. Caperton, you were talking about the knotwood, right?
Not weed,
Not
Mike.
weed, all right.
Japanese knotweed.
Konnichiwa.
Give it the seriousness it deserves, Mike.
I love about the big vine.
Thank you for the back in the zone here. All right, let's go back to the knotweed, folks. This green demon has the ability to grow actually in nearly any type of soil. That's what threw me.
Wow.
Grow in any type of soil, and its ability to march across our landscapes indeed rivals the evil kudzu. So it's not to be taken lightly, to say the least. This is not a joke, folks.
So the Japanese got it bad just like us, huh?
Look, man, it's not. They don't send their best weeds to us, Mike. It could
Apparently.
be. This stuff could be in our yards even now, out there tying knots as we speak. But it's not knotting friendship bracelets, people. No, it's taking a firm hold on your properties and your green spaces. Like kudzu, it crowds out all other plants, and it's particularly difficult to eradicate. So please go online and familiar yourself with its appearance. Its early growth resembles bamboo, which is another very invasive as well.
Yeah.
Not bamboo.
Don't get me started on bamboo.
man.
The worst.
This has red veined green leaves. Its rhizomes run particularly deep and is very difficult. So get out to eradicate. So get out the shovels, folks.
Watch out for those rhizome productions.
That's right.
Hopefully you
That's
can do
right.
it with helium, like that kid found.
Hey, that
Ooh.
kid's on the, yeah.
We're in a helium shortage.
Stand firm and abate, people. This has been good old boy Dave for the Sips, Suds, and Smokes Kudzu Report.
Good old boy Caperton. It was tough.
Yep. Thank you, good old boy Caperton, for
Did it, man.
Did I say
helping.
good old boy Dave? I did say good old boy
It's all right.
Dave, didn't I?
That's all right.
Don't give him any of the credit.
Nobody knows the
Please.
difference.
Sorry.
He deserves none of the
Dave
recognition.
don't blame good old boy Dave with the silliness of
Timmy, did you not do your homework?
Well, on to the topic for today. We have all been there, standing in front of that cold case in the beer store
Oh,
with
yeah.
just cans overflowing, all staring at you in the face.
Looking at all those cans.
I feel like
There's
I'm
no
there
shelf
now.
tags in there, and you're trying to read, what type of beer it is, and you're going, I don't know what beer I want to buy, man.
Pack,
And
six-pack.
yeah, that can art, kind of plays into, whatever you may, think. Unless you've listened to this particular episode, and you can at least navigate these 10 beers, to get through. Up first is going to be a beer from Stillwater Artisanals and Casita Cerveceria.
Cerveceria.
Right. What Tim
Yeah,
said.
Right.
This beer is called On Fleek Imperial Stout.
On Fleek.
On
Fleek.
Fleek.
Right. That's exactly what you wrote down here. On Fleek. And I said on Fleek. On Fleek. What'd you guys think of the beer first off?
Caperton, tell them what on Fleek means.
It means perfect.
Psycho.
Perfect. Perfectly perfect.
Perfect
is what
psycho.
it means.
So what'd you guys think of the beer here itself from On Fleek Imperial Stout?
Well, it was a 13% Imperial Stout, which is a bit aggressive.
It's huge.
For being 13%, I actually did like it.
I think it's okay. It's a little boozy, which
It is boozy and
Slightly
sweet.
boozy.
it's mostly booze, so
very
it should
sweet.
be boozy.
Very sweet.
Little thin on the mouthfeel. Do get roastiness,
Chocolate candy.
some chocolate, yeah. Chocolate boozy candy.
Adult chocolate candy.
Chocolate,
Was-
chocolate, sweet. That's what I
Can
wrote.
the can is not the most interesting of all the cans that we have, but it's
No,
bright. It's bright
like,
and colorful.
It's
It's an eye
neon from
catcher.
the 80s.
It's an eye
It
catcher.
catches
It's
your eye.
from the 80s,
Which, let's face it, that's what it's designed to do.
I guess.
A little
If
bit of
you're in the
alcohol burn,
80s.
not bad though.
Our
At least the
our Suds rating here for On Fleek Imperial Stout is going to be a 2.
yeah,
Or a 3.
Or a 2.
probably a solid 2.
Probably a 2.5, which rounds up to a 3. But
It was not.
It's a 2.
It
Let's
was
move
not as
on.
on
It's a
Just
fleek.
think of the can art here
Yeah.
for Stillwater Artisanal.
What's the green thing in the middle?
So it looked like this Psycho art. I wrote down
Okay,
it was
it's just-
Psycho
it's just
3D
little
art, kind of
shapes.
like the taste profile itself. So it looks like something you have to wear those green and red 3D glasses to actually read the.
Is it leopard from the 80s?
it reminds
I'm not
me of
sure.
one of those
No idea.
magic. What was it?
Those
magic
paintings.
dots,
The magic
the
eye.
magic
so that
eye
when you had to
things.
squint,
Yeah,
you had
yeah.
to squint at it, and you, could
gotta
see the
go out
boat.
of focus, man.
Yeah,
you
you
can see
got.
the dolphins jumping out
Yeah,
of the
you got
water.
to take your eyes out of focus.
You see a really sweet beer.
Horrible can art.
Then you
I
have
thought.
cataracts 20 years later.
thought it's
That's
okay.
fine, though.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Let's move along to talk about the next beer from Orpheus Brewing
Ooh,
called After the Last Death Sour Ales with
Oh.
Currants and Cherries. What'd you guys think of this beer?
this smelled
first?
like an orifice.
Really? Who's
The
Orpheus?
nether region.
It
It-
smelled pretty bad.
There was actually sewage came to mind. I mean,
Garbage.
I'm being serious. Like
I smelled
grabbing it.
something,
a little like
something
garbage.
rotten came to mind. when I
tart,
smelled that
cherry,
beer.
icky. That's all I wrote.
Yeah. Oh, Tim's barfing. Tim's barfing. Everybody.
It's
I just
it's
threw
still
up.
there a bit. Yeah, smells like
out of my Orpheus.
smells like burning dung.
Well, it's so it looks like the. I mean, I'm not for
The
filtering.
color is pretty.
It's
the
a beautiful.
color is
It
pretty.
is. It is.
but it's,
Okay.
it's very
And the-
chunky.
and the
It's
flavor-
got chunks in it.
The flavor. Oh, does it?
Like when the sewage plant caught
There
fire
is
in town
chunks. Yeah.
that other year, and the smell just
Oh
walked it
no.
through. I like most beers they
going-
do.
Wow.
and,
How about that?
this one?
Our
was
Suds rating
terrible.
here for After the Last Death Sour Ale from Orpheus Brewing is going to be a 1.
But the can was interesting. There's
Sorry,
like a
guys.
two-headed thing. One of them's dead, and one's
It's
not
it's
dead.
a woman in a skull.
I want to read my my description of the can
Please
art.
do.
This is like a bad paperback art from a 6th grader is about to meet at a parent-teacher conference night discussion with a teacher. So it definitely does not make the beer.
So,
taste
Yeah,
bad.
it's definitely 14-year-old stoner.
So it's
art
like,
or
do
something.
you
There's like a
think-
castle in the
Do you
distance.
think?
Old stoner.
So Mrs. Woods, do you think Mike is having some problems at home? I mean, he's
Yeah.
been drawing
That's-
making these drawings.
I'm telling
and
you,
stuff,
that's
and
what it's going to come down to. Yep.
half
sure.
woman, half skull, and a hipster V-neck.
Does your son have a good relationship with his mother? Because there's some things going on.
Have you been feeding him paint
They've
chips?
even got the name of the artwork on here. It's "Don't Look Back" by Jeremiah McCleary.
Jeremiah.
Get help.
We hope you can get it to 8th grade.
There's a job for you, Jeremiah, teaching art somewhere.
Yeah, just not on a side of a beer can.
If you want to paint
Be a
houses.
bitter art teacher.
That's probably rude.
Throw some pretty trees in there. Everyone likes mountains.
Happy trees.
Next beer is going to be
Work
from
for Bob Ross.
Southern Prohibition Brewing. It's called Foot Clan Mixed Berry Berliner.
Chugging right
I
through.
like this beer, man.
Yeah, I thought this one was tasty.
It smells good. Tastes good.
Yeah.
Sorry, we had some spillage happening here at the table.
It's all right.
It reminds me a lot of sweet tarts.
Unfortunately, as it warmed up, I tasted some cough syrup.
Well, it is a
Flavors.
Berliner.
That's because we wanted you
With
to go
berries.
to sleep,
Yeah,
Timmy.
you're right.
Yeah,
Tim.
maybe it's the sinuses. I don't know.
Drink this one cold, maybe.
Drink it cold.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of berry flavor in
There
here.
is. I liked it. I still
The Foot
do.
Clan is
I
a
still
reference
do.
to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So
Oh, that's right.
I thought it was a good Berliner Weiss. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was great. Our Suds rating here for the Foot Clan Mixed Berry Berliner Weiss from
Is a-
Southern Prohibition
Is
Brewing
a 5.
is going to be a 3.
I would have given it a 4.
Yeah, should have been a 4, but that's okay. Mike's on the show.
you guys did give it a 4. We just didn't listen
there,
to you.
I
there
will say that
are
it-
no 4s when Mike
Mike,
is
I
on the
think
show.
Mike
came-
just did some editorial.
It
like,
came close to
license.
reminding me of the North Coast Berliner Weiss.
Yes.
In terms of taste
Sure.
profile.
Oh, I
I
really
just-
like that one.
I know this just had too much of that sweet tart kind of drying, powdery.
Chalkiness.
Yeah, it did have a little.
Chalkiness,
It
yeah.
didn't
No,
come
Tim,
through
you
as
don't
it
get any
warmed,
more.
but it
It wasn't
wasn't.
like
As,
just
it wasn't as
holding
good
the
as
can
it
up for
warmed.
everyone to see.
No, you don't get
All
it.
right, so this
Yeah.
can
Can I
art was
have
like
some?
looked like
Yeah, I don't know
a,
what's
a
going
pizza
on
boy
there.
going over the handlebars.
Yeah,
is the
it's-
best way I
it's-
can describe
The
this can
pizza
art.
is for the Teenage
Oh, it's a
Mutant
Teenage
Ninja
Mutant
Turtles.
Ninja
They love
Turtles,
the pizza.
yeah.
It's a kung fu fight.
The Foot Clan, they're the
Oh,
army,
yeah.
Master Shredder's army.
Now I still don't
Okay,
get it.
A
Yeah.
little turtle. There's some Asian
You
writing.
see a little
Right.
turtle in the
Some
corner. Is there like a nuclear
There is
canister?
a turtle.
Okay, I'm culturally inept, and I didn't get that when I
Yeah,
looked
I
at
get
it.
it
But I have
now.
to say that
Oh, Mike, you're way more inept than just culturally.
There's there's a pizza delivery boy.
on a
Okay.
bicycle.
He's fallen off of his bike.
I'm going to
Yeah.
say
He's
And
miss-
he's,
he's
landed head
that's kinda
down.
cool. I
He's-
mean,
with
he's-
his
I
feet
think
up.
he's avoiding a turtle.
I think it fits well.
You
with
know,
the
he
name of the
might
beer.
have crashed his bike
Yeah.
trying to
Traditionally, the
Avoid
Foot
a
Clan would
turtle.
have
Illness
targeted
to the turtle.
That's true.
Yeah.
yeah.
A Foot Clan guy would have ran over.
He would have
the
run
turtle.
over the turtle.
I
And
But then
there's
he
a
would have
little
flipped his
bit of
bike, too.
Asian.
I think
There
the
is.
name
There
of the
is.
So where
beer-
does the Berry Berliner come into play?
Yeah, that's it. I think that the art works well for the name of the beer, but I don't think that the art itself works for the beer style. So that's
I agree.
I don't know. Do
I
the
agree.
berries mean the tomato, the
Turtles
cherry
and a half
tomatoes in the pizza?
Wow, that's
I don't know.
I was
I
thinking
get it,
that.
but it's not very good.
I was thinking of somebody crossing the street with a basket of berries getting plowed over by a car. That would have been closer to the taste profile.
I hate to say it, but if it were next to On Fleek, I'd probably buy On Fleek.
Yeah.
Jeez, what a mistake that would be.
All right. Well,
And there's that.
Turtle Power.
next
Yeah.
up is going to be a beer from
Cowabunga.
Monday Night Brewing called Space Lettuce. This is a double IPA.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of this beer from Monday Night Brewing?
Well,
Yeah. That's okay.
it's a double for sure.
Really
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
I think kind of.
Sweet and resiny.
I actually wrote down
Sticky,
watery.
big, dank,
I thought it was just too heavy.
kind of beer
actually
that
kind
I
of
just
agree
don't
with
like
Mike.
to drink
There's
that much.
there's a ton of flavor in the front, but then it just
Incredibly watery. You know,
Kinda-
it's
craps out right at the end.
it almost tastes flat, almost like it's been open for 2 hours. Even though I know we cracked a can fresh, so
Like a bad bag of something.
Space lettuce.
Exactly.
Space lettuce,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Space
whatever that
lettuce
would-
has turned brown.
Yeah, like that brick space lettuce.
Yeah, sons of. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan.
Eh,
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
Yeah.
okay.
It was.
I mean, when it has flavor, it's good, but then it just fades out. Really
It's a little
fast.
heavy on the bitterness, kind of on the back.
All right, so we're saying this. Is this what we're saying?
This is what we're
Our
saying.
Suds rating here for the Monday Night Brewing Space Lettuce Double IPA is going to be a 2.
Do better Monday night.
I think they do okay.
They
right?
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like their beers.
Where are they?
This
Atlanta?
particular can
Oh,
art
yeah,
is
Atlanta.
it's like a tuxedo bow, and it has like the button covers going down the front of the can as well, and I don't get what that
dumb.
is supposed to mean at all. So
I don't know what a bow tie,
other than they
like a
dressed up
tuxedo
for,
for space
At least
lettuce.
they weren't
High
foolish. At least they
culture.
weren't foolish enough to put the artist's name on the can.
True.
yeah. I think we're just gonna say I don't get the point of the can
Getting
art.
angry.
To me, if I saw that can art, so here's a question: if you didn't know what, kind
Yeah,
of beer
what was
this
Dave thinking?
What kind of beer
idiot
you
would
say
just
that
buy
would have
this
gone with,
based
you
on
know?
the can?
I would have thought maybe like something that's a champagne yeast,
Yeah,
or
something
something
classy.
that's elegant
Yes.
or classy, or a brewed IPA, or
A rosé.
Give me a
very
saison.
formal. Something
yeah,
very
a
formal.
a saison.
yeah, something that you would have when you're dressed up in formal.
No.
I bought it because it said space lettuce, and I thought it would be all dank and kind of weedy.
It was dank.
And it wasn't really. It didn't really.
So I think we're saying the can art definitely doesn't work for
No.
anything
No,
here.
no.
You can't just make up a bunch of beer
Art
names
can't help that
and then,
beer.
and then brew beers. You know, you need to
getting
brew
bitter.
a beer and then name it. You know, based
Right.
on what it is.
Moving right along is
Yeah, the beer got stuck in the weeds.
Oh, did we? What did we rate that one? I
We
forget.
rated it a 2.
2.
Dos.
I'm gonna say it again. There it is.
There it is.
All right. Next up is going to be a beer from Abomination Brewing called White Stouts Can't Jump.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So, what do you guys think of this beer?
This
Itself?
beer is really good.
I liked it.
I thought it was a solid beer.
It's
Wow. Way to commit. Way to commit, Tim.
It's contract brewed by another brewery. I was noticing on the can. I
thought this beer
wasn't
was
super
good,
familiar
but-
with Abomination. Great. I liked it. Yeah.
So this is brewed and canned by Dorchester Brewing in Boston.
They-
Dorchester? Is
they
that near
do.
Worcester?
Yeah.
Dorchester.
For
Dorchester.
Abomination, and
They brew
it's
chowder.
right, and it's distributed by 12%. And we all know the provenance of 12%.
So Dorchester, they brew beers for a lot of different breweries. They're a big contract brewery up there.
Now,
I think this beer was really good in the context of all the other beers we had. But otherwise, I thought it was just kind of average. I mean,
so this is an Imperial White Stout, which it's
Imperial.
very blonde. That is brewed with lactose and aged on top of cocoa nibs,
Interesting.
vanilla beans, and locally roasted coffee from Boston, I'm presuming.
And it has 2 zombies on the.
Yeah, it's got a weird.
who's
But-
it? Woody Harrelson and
Exactly.
One guy's
Oh,
hat says
um,
hops on it.
Who's the guy from Blade?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley
Snipes,
Snipes, yes.
the guy from Major League.
So
It is.
yeah, for those
right,
of you that
is
are
zombie versions
Willie
of them.
Mays Hayes.
so for those of you that may be culturally challenged, this is actually a movie spoof on White Men Can't Jump.
I don't think they're zombies. I think
And,
they're like.
so that's where the name
Kinda
comes.
I think they're zombies.
kind
and that's the two
sewn
principal
together.
characters.
See?
White Stout can't jump. Let's go
just
hustle
green.
some people.
So I didn't actually
think there's
read
there's
I just got White Stout. I didn't realize that it had those adjuncts, around it.
things.
And I actually wrote down creamy was the first thing that caught my attention.
It is
because-
very creamy.
Yeah, that was
yeah, people are putting
Very
lactose in beer these days.
Is that true?
That's
Is that
what
It's a thing.
I read on
They
the
say.
internet.
They say.
it was very uncharacteristic of a White Stout, but I liked it and I thought that it worked
What
really
was
well.
what was uncharacteristic?
That it was creamy. I didn't know that
Oh,
it had
okay.
lactose in it. When I was tasting.
Well,
it.
you
And
look at it and it's very
very clear,
IPA-ish
yeah.
It is
looking.
pretty light.
It warmed
It
up
is.
really nicely.
I don't
too.
know though. I think that's one of the things about white stouts is that they do have the mouthfeel. That's that's one of the first things that throws you off when you look at it because you're
It's a head fake.
you're
beer.
thinking IPA or whatever, and then you get roasty kind of chocolatey notes to it, maybe coffee.
Yeah.
But you also get that mouthfeel.
Well, it's definitely a style that I think that is very difficult for people there to get their head around. And every time that I've encountered them, I always think they're too sweet and not roasty enough, or the two, downplays. And I actually, even though this one wasn't too sweet,
Nope.
No.
and the roasty elements
nice,
of this were
yeah.
kind of in check. So
Yeah.
this was actually working pretty well. I love the theme, of the can art and how it worked with it, as
Yep.
well. Let's rate the beer here real quick. We'll keep on talking about the can art.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Exactly.
gave it
So our rating here for White Stouts Can't Jump is going to be a 3.
4? Okay, cool.
3.75.
But I think the can art really goes.
It works.
Yeah, it does.
Because
It's kind of like the artwork for the movie. I mean, it's got
Exactly.
the
Very 90s.
Yeah.
yeah, because
And I don't think
there's
they're
no
zombies.
hops that have been introduced.
What do you think
on
they are?
this,
Pickles?
so-
I think they're
Pickles?
they're like Frankenstein monsters. They're like they've been sewn together.
Okay, so-
Like something that was dead and came
So
back
I'm
alive.
like a
going to give you
head
a little
and it's
secret
like-
here. Frankenstein was more or less a zombie. He was a reanimated corpse.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll talk about the next beer right after this break.
I'm gonna fight Dave.
Hey, welcome back to Sip Suds and Smokes. On today's Suds episode, we are talking about canned beers and canned art. On
Who
the
told
beer
you I
itself.
like it in the can?
I like it with lube personally.
Oh.
Coconut flavored.
It's just this
Ooh la
interesting
la.
discussion that we're having where you're standing in front of the beer aisle and there's just these rows and rows of cans of beer and all of this really interesting artwork on them. But
Colorful
is that
cans.
really helping some of your decision-making process? We've taken 10 beers off the shelf and we have tasted them today. We're rating the beers and discussing some of the play of the can art with the beer itself. Up next is going to be a beer from Clown Shoes Brewing. It is Don't Fear the Blender Tropical Fruit Smoothie IPA. I'm so happy that Clown Shoes has actually returned to Sip Suds and Smokes from that 5-year ban hiatus. So
Banned once again.
so I'm glad to see that we could come back and taste some of their beer. What'd you guys think of Don't Fear the Blender Tropical Fruit Smoothie IPA? Is it included in Umbrella?
It is fruity.
It is.
It
Indeed.
is.
That's the
Yeah.
I wrote super fruity.
I wrote, reminds me of Tim.
So the name itself kind of plays into because there's a fruit puree in this. So I'm guessing that's what Fear of the Blender's about. Is
Yes, because the Reaper is
Come on,
holding a
baby.
blender in his hand.
Don't
so
fear the blender.
that's where the name comes from. Tasting this right now, it's a lot more bitter than I remember having it when it was a bit cooler.
Initially, it was very creamy and
All the
very
stankies coming
tropical.
out.
Yeah.
I actually wrote above average. I thought that the blend of all these things works pretty well.
That's why it reminded me of Tim, because it was above average. That was
I
trouble.
can't.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I can't say
Like
I
that
don't
one.
like this beer as much as it warmed up. That's for sure.
I don't think this is the style of beer, though, that should warm up.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
This
Yeah.
maybe should be a beer smoothie or a slushy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm fearing the blender.
Our Suds rating here for Don't Fear the Blender Tropical Fruit Smoothie IPA is going to be a 3.
Or 2.
I wrote a question mark.
Yeah.
I just said
But,
I think I was
It's
gonna.
not an official.
I think I
rating.
was just gonna go with whatever you guys said.
Well, so what did you think about the can art here?
Okay.
So
Can art, though, is kind of cool.
Grim
it's
Reaper.
a Grim Reaper holding
I know.
a blender.
I know.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
this over
it's
here?
okay.
Is
And
that
he's holding a
it's his
blender.
scythe.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Is
right.
that a cowbell?
The
He's got a
sickle.
cowbell.
No, it's not a cowbell.
Think
It is
about
a cowbell.
There is a cowbell down there.
Oh,
Life is a lot better with
Okay.
cowbell.
Think about it though, like if the Grim Reaper, who is a
That's pretty
skeleton, was holding a blender, wouldn't that be a good diet ad though? Because like you're like, wow, you look like skinny.
Well,
you
I
know,
was
Yeah.
thinking it
Death.
needed
You look
a
like
bit more
death.
of a tropical
like you're
feel,
dead.
to it. Because this is a very tropical driven beer, I was thinking some beach theme or something else. So I didn't get the whole, Grim Reaper reference. The blender on the front, I got that piece of the equation. But if you had told me that that's going to tell me that
BOC,
can art is
baby.
going to have a tropical IPA, I wouldn't.
Well,
no way. I
no.
would
Did not warm
No.
up very well, that's for sure.
But for me, being a Blue Oyster Cult fan, I probably would have grabbed this anyways because it's like, oh my God, they
This
like
tastes
Blue
like Blue
Oyster
Oyster
Cult.
Cult.
And it's got the cowbell with it. It can't be that bad, right?
Tim's going to make a Blue Oyster Goza
7%.
At some point.
Yes,
that beer,
that beer
Boots
is
and shorts coming out
telling
soon.
me BOC is all the way. Yes, I
Yeah,
want
it's-
that beer.
A
It's like
BOG.
Clown Shoes had a good idea, but they're too afraid to depart from their normal artwork. It's too normal, creepy Clown Shoes for me.
Let's move on to the next beer, which is from Hoof-Hearted Brewing. This is the Belloc Coffee Vanilla Stout. What do you guys think of this beer?
I like the can.
Well, we're talking about the can in a minute.
The beer
No,
was
that's
all
what I
right.
think about the beer.
Yeah.
It was the
I actually
first
wrote
one I
down-
had. I liked it. But let
Adjunct
me-
City was what I wrote down. Bad Stout Coffee, ? That's what I wrote down.
Weird roasty flavor.
Yeah, it does have a strange roast on the aroma that is like not your traditional, I'm going to a coffee shop to get like a really decent cup of coffee.
I wonder if they used coffee
Hooves.
extract or
Extract.
something
Yeah.
instead of
This
coffee,
is not real coffee.
Yeah.
because I'm thinking this
does it
was
say there?
so
Does it-
this
does
was
it say a
contract
roaster or
brewed
anything?
as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't.
Okay.
I think On Fleek was also at 12%. We have a couple beers.
Well,
that
yeah,
were-
on Fleek was what 13.
No, but it was made
I kind of like
at-
this one.
Oh,
guys.
so on Fleek was made.
Okay, this one says
two
American
words.
stout with coffee and vanilla added. Smooth caramel and chocolate tones get a massive coffee and vanilla
No, sir.
rogering.
Wait, what?
Rogering.
Intellectual
I read that
competitive
in the
flavor that makes you feel
Stefan
smarter than you
SNL
look.
voice.
Pair with a
Huge
corduroy blazer
Rogering.
and look out world.
Yeah, it's making me like the beer.
I know.
less. The more you're
I
reading, the more. The
Someone
less-
got rogered with caramel.
Yeah.
Okay, look.
apparently.
And the person with the unibrow.
It's a dude with
Yeah.
a
Wait,
tennis
who
racket.
brewed it
Yeah.
though?
So
Billie
we'll talk
Jean
about the can
King.
art
He's
here in a
very
second.
hairy.
Okay, Mike wants to know what your
Yeah,
rating was.
Let's rate your beer here.
Yeah.
Our rating here for Belloc is going to be. It's going to be a 2. So the can art actually is.
The can art is kind of cool,
I
though.
don't-
I don't know. I go back and
I-
forth.
So
because it's competitively
It reminds
intellectual
me
flavor.
of-
is it like
it's
a
competitively
Roger
erotic.
Federer or
What's
something
this?
on the
It's
front?
a Guido.
Sasha Baron
Oh, that is so
Cohen.
racist.
Yeah, you can't say that on this.
Yeah, you can't say that on this show.
Yeah, there's like probably 10,000.
We have a lot of
people that just
Guidos
stopped
that listen.
listening.
Yeah.
What's the Sasha Baron Cohen
Borat.
Borat?
Yeah.
He looks a bit like Borat.
If Borat wore like a V-neck tennis outfit,
Yeah.
yeah.
If
It would be
Borat
him.
had an Italian cousin with a Lithuanian mother,
And
that
who
would
did
be-
this?
That let his
Hoof-hearted?
chest hair grow.
Yeah.
I know that I just wanted to hit this back over the net, but not have another sip. That's all I know. It's about as much reference as I could get to tennis.
Hey, I think Hoof Hearted is very tongue in cheek. I dig it.
I've had several of
Angry.
their beers, and some of them are good.
I'm
I
sure
think
they're
they're a little
I'm
over-
sure their
I find
peeps
them to
get
be
it,
a
but
bit
I'm telling
overrated.
you, in the beer cooler, I would have said, "Oh my gosh, what is with the really ugly dude, tennis dude on there?" So anyway,
Mike would have been
I don't
like,
get
"Hey,
it.
I know that
Everything
guy."
about it's aggressive.
Yeah.
I just want to say these aren't zombies.
Okay, they are 100%
Definitely
zombies.
Not
zombies.
zombies.
next up is a beer from Southern Star Brewing Company called Bombshell Blonde Ale. What you guys think of the
Southern
Bombshell
Star. I thought it was
Blonde Ale?
Sweetwater.
no, it's
no.
Southern Stars.
There's a bombshell in my mouth
That is a beer that should not warm
in the
up.
worst kind of way.
This
This
was
should
a
not
really
warm
bad
up.
blonde ale, is what it was.
Well, you know what? I don't
It's a
even
picture of,
remember how it was when it was cold,
Oh,
but as
gosh.
it warms up, it is all malt.
I remember what it was like cold, and I refused to try it
So
warmed
sweet.
I wrote down bad and watery.
Drink
That's
it,
what
Tim.
I wrote down.
It's
Drink
a
it
woman
down.
driving or riding the nuclear bomb,
I know.
and
That's hot. That's why I
what
bought it.
exploded in your.
That's
yeah.
America.
It makes you.
Yeehaw.
It gives you a window into the psyche of Dave. Is
Yes.
yeah, that's a great picture. I need
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Hot blonde chick on a bomb.
Okay, so
Drink it.
bombshell
Drink it now.
bombshell
Bombshell.
blonde is brewed with American ale
I
and
made-
German Vienna malts
I
that
broke 10.
combine to
See?
give this ale its distinctive smooth, creamy
just
body.
tried it warm.
Just enough hops are added to this rich golden colored
No,
ale
not
to
enough hops are
perfectly
added.
balance its bready finish. It is non-filtered, non-pasteurized. No additives or preservatives are ever added
No flavor or
to
aroma
take
is
away
added
from
to
its
this beer.
delicate taste. It's delicate.
No, sir. No, sir.
Delicate, folks.
I wrote one word. I wrote ouchie.
Ouchie.
Ouchie. I like that. I like that big reference there.
Whether enjoyed on the golf course, on the beach, or simply sitting at home, one sip from this bombshell will blow you away.
That's
It would
true.
have me running in
They-
the opposite direction.
GOC. What did you rate it?
Okay. Our Suds rating here for the Bombshell Blonde is going to be a 1.
Yeah.
Sorry, that wasn't working at all for us. What did you think of the can art? It was kind of retro.
I liked it.
World War II.
I like the vintageness of it.
Whatever.
I
It's a
really
little
did.
simple.
It's
Overdone.
tired.
I think
Oh,
I think
Tim didn't
needed a
like it
bit
because it
more
had a
Caperton
girl
and
on
I are on the
it.
same page.
you know, of the blonde. You know, it needed to be a bombshell blonde. It looked like a Mary Poppins rendition of a bombshell blonde.
They should have
you
just left this one on paper.
know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice try.
It
there's
smells
that.
kind of like birthday cake, though.
I don't know.
Smells like birthday cake.
Birthday cake?
I don't think that's a good
birthday
thing.
cake.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Cake, cake,
Okay.
cake, cake.
Okay.
Good night.
Up next is going to be a beer from the Collective Arts Brewing called Stranger Than Fiction Porter. What you guys think of this beer?
Smells Canadian.
It's because it might be Canadian.
My tasting notes were watery porter, kind of cola-like.
I like
I thought it was a
actually.
little overly roasty.
It was very roasty for the thinness of it,
Yeah,
wasn't
for
it?
being exactly.
Yep. Second sip around. That's. Can I?
Well,
say
but it is
watery
a porter.
Yeah, I was gonna say the roasty water,
yeah,
Roasty
water.
roasty coffee water.
Yeah,
Bean
actually, the
water.
sugars kind of died down, so that whole cola-like thing, kind of rolled off. So, it had a bit of like an acid salt kind of thing going
Yeah.
on when we first tasted it. So,
Yeah, warming up, I think it just gets watery. Unfortunately,
Okay, it's a 5.5% porter.
Yeah, man.
Does
It's
this-
5.5%. Come on, give it a break.
it should hold up more.
As a porter, I would think that it would, correct?
I think so.
I personally
Yeah.
would have asked for my money back with the rest of the 6-pack if I bought this. So,
I don't think it's that bad, but
I'm gonna disagree.
I don't.
I'm going to
enjoy
tell
it.
you pretty much that you're all wrong.
Okay.
It's
That means we're right.
wow,
no.
I want to hear
I
this
mean,
oratory.
so yeah,
comes.
there's
Here
a
it
little
comes.
bit of watery. There's a little bit of roast.
little.
Yeah, but it all kind of comes together.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
okay.
does
Okay.
because it's stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
So that means it's in reality, this beer is pretty good. Ipso facto, it's a 3.
No, it is
Wow.
not by a long
Banned
shot.
once again.
Yeah, that's for sure. Right, banned once again.
Can you ban yourself?
So
Please?
I'm rating it a 5 just so that when we do the group rating,
my God.
it is going to end up a 3.
We're definitely fighting after
And I
this.
have all right.
He's
so
getting
it's a 3.
defensive about the cans that he picked out.
Okay, so Stranger Than Fiction is a 3. Thank you. Let's move on
I
to the
don't
next
think
beer.
so. I don't think so.
Our rating for Stranger Than Fiction Porter from Collective Arts is going to be a 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hit the 3 again?
Yes, you did.
Can we rate good old boy Dave? Is that possible? Can we do that next?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't have a 7.
One.
But the cans.
It is a little thin.
Okay. I think the cans are very interesting.
Yeah, they are.
They're
So
unique.
the cans are actually have unique artwork for. It looks like they had 2 different kinds of artwork for
At
this
least
particular beer. So one is a Psycho Journey album, kind of meets retro 70s. How would you describe that one, Kate?
I think I'm thinking of Laramie Project kind of thing. Do you
Laramie
remember?
Project.
Yeah. Do you
No,
remember
it looks like
Laramie
the
Project?
Journey album.
Of Journey.
What Journey album?
Infinity.
With the red, yeah.
Really?
Absolutely.
What?
Yeah, it does.
No, geez.
Here we
No,
go.
exactly.
Well, okay, I see what he's. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We all- I
you
see
have
it.
to
We
you have to have bad eyesight.
See, this is what happens, Julie. You invite these people to your house, and next thing you know, you're wrong.
Caperton, how would you describe the other can of this?
It's this odd. It's like
Strange.
it's like a little girl's legs, and she looks like she's been hiking.
It looks like
She's got
Beavis
some
and Butthead from
Band-Aids.
this side of the
There's-
table.
There's
Does.
snakes. There's all
Little
kinds
Band-Aid.
I thought that was
some knee
of
highs,
weird stuff. The
softball
artist
stuff.
is on
I
here.
thought that was Tim at his
Heather
wedding.
Vaughn from Philadelphia, PA.
There's more hair in my legs.
All of a
than
sudden,
that.
I know who likes this.
There's some serpentry going
I
on.
didn't say he didn't
There's
shave.
some hiking boots. There's some slouchy socks, Band-Aids, and a little girl's legs.
Yeah, I think the can art is like way above the beer.
It's interesting.
Yeah, you're right. Both of these cans have some.
Well, that's that's part of the whole thing about like can you trust the can to tell you if the beer inside is good?
Well, what comes first, the beer or the design? Is it the chicken or
Well,
the
I
egg?
think that depends on
The beer.
I think that depends on the brewery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tentacles
Okay, I
and
take
the-
that back. It's no, it's
It looks
more.
just like
She's
the Journey
back.
album.
She's back.
No.
Oh,
Infinity
It's-
by Journey.
No, it's
Researching.
more of the Mothman prophecies. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, the
Mothman prophecies.
How many people think she's right?
what is even
It's
a
a
moth?
film.
What is a Mothman?
Bad.
It's
Once
a
again.
film.
It's a man whose mom was a moth and his dad was a man.
Yeah, hit the button.
No, it is not.
I've never seen a sexy moth.
That's what we think.
No.
Last beer we have is from Moonraker Brewing Company.
Are we on the
It
last?
is called Dr. Chill. It is a NEPA. What'd you guys think of this beer?
Oh, no. It's just a leg. Honestly, I've got another one.
Just a leg.
I just wanted to play that. I've had it,
Remix to
I've had it
Oh.
sitting there the
Another
whole
one.
time.
He's got another one.
Well, I don't know if it was because this was the only NEPA in the flight or what, but this was
yeah.
my favorite beer in the flight.
This was a good NEPA.
It was pretty good beer. It
was okay.
I actually thought that it was, a good average, New England IPA.
Mosaic, Citra, Eldorado.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, those are all
Yeah.
the right stuff.
No, I think
got
it's
like
it's
a-
And
very
it's hazy.
nice and juicy.
Yeah.
Good beer.
It hits all the marks.
Yeah, it was middle.
What'd you guys think of this beer?
Yeah, that's a little high.
It's a
Yeah,
faux.
it's a little long here.
That's a little high.
We're going to call it our Suds rating here for the Dr. Chill NEPA from Moonraker is going to be a 4.
Yeah. That's what you get, Caperton,
Which is really
for going
interesting
against me earlier.
because there is a lizard on the can.
Iguana.
Right?
Sorry, one.
Iguana. Okay. Which would make you think that it was very dry,
Yeah.
except that it's very juicy.
Yeah.
I think it just camouflaged itself.
Well, that does it for today's episode here on Can and Can Art on a Beer. You can always find us where you found this episode today, as well as on radio, satellite, online on iTunes, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and nearly any place that you listen to a podcast. The easiest way to find this show is on your phone. Ask Alexa, Siri, or Google. Play podcast, Sips, Suds, and Smokes.
And we do indeed love all of your feedback. So please reach out to us online at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com.
And our daily tasting notes flow out on Twitter and Instagram every day at SipSudsSmoke. And our Facebook page is always buzzing with the best beer news.
Please take the time to rate this episode if you're listening online. How many stars, Juliana?
5.
I want to thank our co-host for being here. Good old boy Tim, thanks for joining us.
Thanks. It was really difficult with Dave.
Canlicious.
It was canlicious.
Good old boy Caperton, thanks for joining us in the Kudzu Report today.
Thank you. This was a fantastic experience.
Ooh, that was pretty good. Go to gal Julieanna, thank you for being here.
Wow. Don't judge everything by the can.
That was lame. Good old boy Dave.
Tim, you stink. Caperton, they are zombies.
Whatever.
Banned once
We're
again.
fighting.
Don't matter. Check out your daily review for Good Old Boy Dave.
At Good Old Boy Dave on Instagram.
Hey, this is Good Old Boy Mike asking you to come back, join us once again for another exciting episode of Sip, Suds, and Smokes, and I will ask you to keep on sipping. Yeah.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sip, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see y'all next time.